Every Tuesday, our Eye on Money series looks at financial issues Americans face. This morning, we focus on marriage and money. June is a very popular month for weddings, and according to the planning website, The Knot, couples spent an average of $34,000 nearly on their weddings last year. Tony's shaking his head.
I eloped. It's no money.
You eloped. You did it well. 80% of couples say they set a budget, but 45% said they went over it. We asked one New York bride and groom about their pre-wedding finances.
Going to the chapel of love.
We got engaged in October. We went to the park and we were having a picnic, and he was playing guitar, and it was just a nice, beautiful day. And then there it was, a beautiful ring.
We are getting married in Brooklyn. We found a beautiful venue.
An average wedding in New York is $70,000, and we want to do well below that. So we set a budget of $50,000.
You have to negotiate. Everybody's negotiable.
The catering was like $8 or $10K. The florist, like $4K. Right now, we don't have joint anything. We just Venmo back and forth, which...
As crazy as that is.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy.
If you are paying for your own wedding, you will have to make sacrifices.
Yeah, we didn't go on vacation for a while.
We didn't, yes.
Yeah, but it was worth it because this is the wedding we want to have, and we don't have a choice but to pay for it ourselves.
It's the most important day in your life, so it's going to be incredible. I'm super psyched and excited.
Yeah.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here with important financial reminders for the big day and beyond. Jill, I'm so happy you're here.
Come into my office,
Yes.
Adriana.
Free financial advice.
Clear your schedule. I need to sit with you all day, but I'm a bit late. I'm getting married in a couple of weeks. I could have used this advice a little earlier.
Contracts have been signed.
So for people who are just starting out their planning, what are the financial issues and things that should be on their checklist?
Okay, so for the wedding itself, we have to figure out who's contributing what. Gone are the days where it's the bride's family is paying for this, the groom's family is paying for. Just figure out who is willing and able to chip in. And then you've got that budget. And we saw that number. 45% of people blow through their budget, but have the budget, know what you're going to spend. And remember, this is an important day, so I appreciate our couple that said it's the most important day of your life. But you may think forward and say, well, do I really want to spend that much money? Because there's going to be another important day where I might want to have that money set aside.
3/4 of couples say they're willing to take on debt for their wedding, Jill. Is that a good idea?
That is a terrible idea. That is like beyond a terrible idea.
I gotta go.
That is such a bad idea because, as my father liked to say to me way back when, 100 years ago, my father says, okay, on one hand, you've got a pile of money. On the other hand, you have a dirty cake knife. So you really want to try to say, why are we going into debt for this? You can have a great wedding. The things that actually
I love the image of the wedding for you as the dirty cake.
Yeah, that's Big Al, you know, what can I say? So the thing that's really interesting, though, is that people are going into debt maybe for things that they don't ultimately appreciate. So we have surveys out that say, people said, if I had just invited fewer people, that would cut down the cost. If I spent less on the wedding planner, flowers, the type of food. No one is going to say at Adriana's wedding, which we're all crashing, you know what? The food was so good. They're going to say she looked beautiful, happy. It was a wonderful event. So be careful why you're going into debt also.
So there is the wedding, and then there's the marriage. There's a 54% of people, according to one survey, don't actually discuss their finances, or they do. Only about half of people discuss their finances before being married. Don't you think you should have that conversation ahead of time? What do you have in your bank account? I got this much.
Absolutely, and that's a mind-blowing statistic. They're spending more time planning their wedding than their financial futures. So what kind of conversations are we talking about? You want to share information. You want to say, this is how much debt I have. This is what my assets are. And then you want to come to a determination. Are we going to merge our money, or are we going to keep it separate? It doesn't matter. You just have to come to an agreement. If one person loves to manage money, then let that person be the one who follows the money. If one person loves to run the investments, let her run the investments. But talk about it. Come up with a game plan, and of course, revisit that game plan every quarter. You know, don't do it in the middle of a fight, but have these conversations.
Good advice.
Thank you.
I also like what we discussed at this table, which is don't focus on the wedding. Focus on celebrating the 15th year or the 20th year. That's where the hard stuff starts. And we'll have you back to talk about anniversaries sometime.
All right, fantastic. It's my aunt and uncle's 60th anniversary today.
Wow.
So
Congratulations to them.
Congratulations.
Jill, thank you very much. We asked people at home to tell us whether they would sign a prenup if their spouse asks them to. On our CBS This Morning Facebook page, Jill will explain who should consider a prenup during the break.